Hi friends, at the outset, on the auspicious occasion of 75th anniversary of India's grand independence, I must extend my congratulations and good wishes to each one of you. Coincidentally, this video of mine is also 75th one in the series. Today is also the day of immense pride when we all salute our freedom fighters who laid their life for the cause of nations. We do remember our great leaders like Gandhiji, Pandit Nehru, Sardar Patel, Netaji, and many more are there in the list. As regards Pandit Nehru, he is widely considered as an architect of modern India in general and foreign policy in particular. My today's topic is foreign policy of India from Pandit Nehru to Narendra Modi. Here is the three segments of this topic. First one is the concept of foreign policy. Second one is the conduct of foreign policy. And third is analysis. Let me go with the first segment, and that is concept, as I said. And first part of concept is foreign policy. So foreign policy is a framework in which the nations conduct their relations with other nations. Second part is diplomacy. Diplomacy is an instrument of foreign policy which promotes and protects national interests. Goal of foreign policy. Goal is nothing but an objective, as you are aware of. And finally, the principles of foreign policy, that too you are aware of it. You must have heard it: Panchsheel, non-intervention, non-alignment, non-aggression, and many more are in the list. The principles of foreign policy of India is considered as one of the best principles in the world. Now let me go with the second segment. Second segment, as I said earlier, is the conduct of foreign policy. Now here I will be going leadership-wise. Let me first go with Pandit Nehru. As regards Pandit Nehru is concerned, he laid the foundation of foreign policy of a newly born India. Other leaders, right from Indira Gandhi to Narendra Modi, all are having some differences in one or the other area. They may have differences on outlook, style, functioning, contents, and emphasis of foreign policy. But at the same time, all these leaders are the practitioners of the same policy what Pandit Nehru laid the foundation. Now, as regards Pandit Nehru's landmark achievement is concerned, landmark achievement is that he led India at a very, very critical moment. And finally, he succeeded to establish world's largest democracy. And as regards grey area is concerned, he is not free from grey area, no doubt. And you all are aware of. These two are Kashmir problem, and second is 1962 war with China. As regards Kashmir problem, widely it is known that Pandit Nehru should not have put up Kashmir problem in United Nations. Even Indira Gandhi also subsequently said that there was no need of Kashmir issue to be put up in the United Nations. But he did it, and we presume that he must have done it under the pressure of USA and other Western countries. As regards second part is concerned, the war with China in 1962. This had happened because of Pandit Nehru's policy and policy of priority on India's development over defense. Despite Indian army was stronger than China, but we lost it and got humiliation. This is a fact, there is no doubt on that. After Nehru, this is about Indira Gandhi. She has crossed many milestones, and each one of them is landmark. Let us see four, five achievements what he got it. The first one was Pokhran nuclear test. Number 2 was Sikkim annexation as an integrated part of India. And third was 1967 war with China. India got it victory against China, and almost 13 to 1400 Chinese soldiers lost life. This is third. And fourth is 1971 war. This war, of course, was fought against Pakistan, but it was also a war under the shadow of American nuclear threat on India during Bangladesh liberation. In this regard, the war prisoners, almost 1 lakh soldiers surrendered to India, and this was unprecedented in the history. Now, the fourth one is Sino-Soviet Treaty. Sino-Soviet Treaty was signed in 1971. In this context, Mrs. Indira Gandhi said once that do not trust completely even your best friends. And in this regard, I would like to give you 2 instances which illustrate Mrs. Gandhi's dominating personality. First one was when she had gone to Moscow to discuss about this treaty, peace treaty. When Mr. Kosygin, the Prime Minister of Russia, had come to her to discuss, but she refused to discuss with him as because he was number 2 boss. Number 1 was the President of Soviet Union, Mr. Brezhnev. When he got free next day, both of them discussed and finalized the treaty. Second instance I would like to submit before you is Mr. Gromyko. Gromyko was the foreign minister of Soviet Union. He was about to come to Delhi to sign this treaty. Meanwhile, India got some winds that he will be going to Pakistan way to Moscow from Delhi. When Mrs. Gandhi came to know, then she talked to Russian top leadership, and she made it emphatically clear that if at all Mr. Gromyko's intention is to visit Pakistan also while going back to Moscow from Delhi, then better he should not come to Delhi. If at all he is willing to do it, to go to Pakistan. Finally, Mr. Gromyko came, signed the treaty, had gone directly from Delhi to Moscow. Perhaps Mr. Narendra Modi had got the clue from Mrs. Gandhi as how to deal with Russia, the pressure and counter pressure. In the month of January 2021, the foreign minister of Russia had come to Delhi. While going back to Moscow, he had gone to Pakistan. Ministry of Foreign Affairs noted down. So after 6-7 months, just in the month of July, end of July 2021, Mr. Jaishankar, the foreign minister, had gone to Russia. While coming back to Delhi, he had gone to Georgia. Georgia is adversary to Russia. Georgia of Russia is the same as Pakistan's of India is. So now the game is equal. Game is drawn, tit for tat. This is what Mrs. Gandhi and Narendra Modi did it. Now regarding Rajiv Gandhi. Rajiv Gandhi had the achievement, particularly when he had gone to China and he had signed an agreement in 1988 on Mansarovar issue. Then Vajpayee had the 2 main achievements. First is Pokhran II, 1988, and Kargil War he had won. Regarding Narasimha Rao had gone to China in 1983 and signed the Peace and Tranquility Treaty. Now about Manmohan Singh. Manmohan Singh had 3 achievements. First, civil nuclear deal agreement with USA. Second is he had signed Quad in 2007, and finally India started taking interest in Indo-Pacific zone. And third is Free Trade Association talk started 2007, and Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had signed it with Europe. Now about Mr. Modi. Modi's achievement is the vaccine diplomacy. This is about the leadership achievement right from Nehru to Modi. Now about third segment, and this is analysis. The first one is the biggest loss of India was the collapse of Soviet Union. As regards Russia today, it stands nowhere near to Soviet Union. Today Russia is a weak country. Recently, around 2001 rather, Russia, China entered into a peace treaty. This peace treaty is almost similar to the peace treaty what India and Soviet Union made in 1971. There, Soviet Union was number one and India was number two partner. But here with China, Russia is number two and China is number one. Russia always nowadays act under pressure of China. Now, recently, there has been a peace talk on Taliban in Doha, Qatar, where India was not invited. Invited? Who invited by Russia? Pakistan, China, USA, but not India. This was perhaps under pressure of China. Second thing, Russia had advised India to quit Quad, perhaps again under the pressure of China. Third is the S-400 defensive missile that Russia has supplied to China, and China has deployed it in Tibet, very close to Ladakh border, but not supplied to India so far. May consider in future, but so far no supply from Russia to India. Now, another about the non-alignment policy India has been following. This policy is a positive policy, an active policy. This policy is a frank and fearless policy. This is not a neutrality, negatively neutral policy. Under this policy, Mrs. Gandhi denounced America and its involvement in Vietnam and Grenada. And she also denounced Russia in the aggression on Czechoslovakia and also Afghanistan. So this is the kind of policy India has been following, non-aligned with both the blocs, both America or Russian blocs. Now, fourth aspect, I will talk about Bhutto's assassination, rather hanging. Mr. Bhutto, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, was to be hanged in 1977. That time, Mrs. Indira Gandhi was not in power. That time, Janta regime was ruling India. Many Pakistanis told to the international global press, they said that had Indira Gandhi been in power today, she should have sent commandos to rescue Mr. Bhutto. I am sure Mrs. Indira Gandhi might have not done it, but the kind of faith and confidence people had, even people of Pakistan, to Mrs. Gandhi, this demonstrates her personality. Now about policy, what India has been following, it is a dynamic policy India has been following. It's always risky. Risk-free policy, if at all you want, then you have to go for a static policy. It is always risky. And while you are going for this policy, then many challenges you have to face in the past and also in present. All these challenges have made India a stronger one. And finally, regarding all leadership from Nehru to Narendra Modi, these are from different political parties and they have different ideologies. Despite all these differences, they are united on one platform, and this is the national interest. And this is also the end of my talk. Thank you very much to each and every one of you.